Hey everybody, I'm Kyle S. Preston Esquire.
And I'm Cody Theodore Logan.
And today we are going to speak of Beetlejuice for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Isn't that right, Cody?
That's right, it's showtime.
This game is published by LJN.
Yeah.
And it was made by Rare, I think. The company that did, of course, GoldenEye. This is another NES game that starts out with a grotesque head.
Yep.
The other being Nightmare on Elm Street, which we talked about last week. And this is another one. When you start it up, I can't stop laughing. It's such a bizarre way to start up the game. And then the game starts, and you get some really awesome music. I think the music in this game is top-notch. It's some of the best NES music. And a lot of people complain because it's not the movie music. You know, wah, 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 wah. Who gives a shit? This is basically what I'm trying to say. It sounds cool, you know? I think a big problem a lot of people have when reviewing these old movie adaptations is expecting them to be anything like the movie. You know, who gives a shit? They're supposed to be fun games. That said, this isn't one of them. Now, this game is really hard. The controls suck. I'll say that much. And really the music is the best thing going for this game. I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia attached to it, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really difficult for me to play this without using like a Game Genie to help boost me through it.
The first time I remember ever seeing this game was at the video rental place back when I was a kid, and I remember seeing it on the shelf and really wanting to get it, and I got it a few times. The thing about back in the day when you would get a game, even if the game sucked, you'd keep playing it, and sometimes you'd keep renting it. You know, you'd rent it the next week because, I don't know, we were just gluttons for punishment back then. And this was definitely one of those games that I rented a lot, and I only knew maybe one person who could even get past the first stage. The graphics are pretty decent. The sound is good. It's just the controls are terrible. So there's a lot of cheap deaths. I'm so bad that I'm sure that the footage you're seeing of this now, of my gameplay after we record this, is probably terrible. You're probably seeing me fail over and over again, and just trying to fill time. And it's because this game is so hard, and you die constantly, and you constantly hear that sound, that horrible You've gotten to a few of the bosses. Tell me about, like, the first boss.
The first boss,
this Gomez Adams motherfucker. And he's trying to spray you with a spray can.
I think it's the decorator, and he's marking the house with spray paint. Like
yeah, the interior designer. Although he was, a fat guy.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't look so fat. This is just some Gomez Adams looking dude.
Well, first, before you get to the boss, it's definitely important, if you're playing the game and you're wanting to get far, you want to make sure you stock up on scares. These are found in like little doors along the way. And usually around these doors are these two holes with beetles coming out. If you stand over top of one of these holes and hold A and B and hit down, it goes into like another room where you can have a chance to get like a bunch of coins.
So you get these masks, which are the scares, and that's what you use to defeat the bosses.
Yeah, you can like shoot and stuff. Some of them are more expensive than others. you definitely want to stock up on beetles, coins, scares, and be very patient and slow.
See, now, that's actually one of the things that a lot of people complain about that I do kind of respect a little more. At least they were trying to be unique, and that's kind of a theme with a lot of LJN games, is, you know, they're never just cut and paste designed. You know, they put a lot of thought into these games, even if it doesn't quite seem like it sometimes.
Oh yeah, this game has a great narrative too, where it lets you know what's going on along the way.
Yeah, and it almost kind of shows their creativity by how they didn't just follow the movie. I mean, some people would complain about that, but I think that, you know, the same with A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, they added in mechanics that were not the norm. They were experimenting a little. In this case, it doesn't really work out. But yeah, at least they tried.
Yes. Beetle guy.
Beetleman. Oh yeah, we should talk about the overhead levels, because you've gotten there. I've never seen the overhead levels. I don't really understand. It kind of switches almost into sort of a Zelda perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very much like that. It's whenever you get to the house, sometimes there's a door chasing you around, and if that door hits you, it takes you to Mars.
Isn't it Saturn?
Or Saturn, or wherever that one.
I just remember in the movies, like, you been to Saturn? Hey, I've been to Saturn. So there is a lot of variety in this game if you can last long enough to see it. It's a shame that there are the issues with it, because I think it could have been a really fun game. I think it's not quite as bad as people make it out to be. You know, I try to be optimistic with all of these games, and I try to look at them on the bright side, and this one has some things going for it, but unfortunately it's a little more bad than good.
Yeah, I'd say nostalgia is probably my main attachment to this game.
There is also a Game Boy game, maybe even a few Game Boy games. I think there's just one, though. And the Game Boy game seems to be clearly based on the cartoon series, while the NES version seems to be more in line with the movie. I don't know if the cartoon was out by the time the NES game came out. I have no clue the timeline. I kind of like the world of the NES version. I kind of think, I don't know, people say, oh, it doesn't look like the movie and stuff, but it feels like it could be. Some of that weirdness is there, that kind of Beetlejuice brand weirdness. Cody, any recent pickups you'd like to talk about?
Well, I got Knight Rider.
Well, I'm sure you do. I recently picked up American Gladiators, CIB, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about that in a future episode.
I haven't played that. What's that one like? I'm gonna look that one up.
It's really cool. I mean, I don't want to get too heavy into it, talking about it right now, but
let's just talk about that.
let's just change the whole topic of the video. We're now talking about American Gladiators. No, but it's a few kind of mini games. It's like based up of mini games, and based on the show from the early 90s. And it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool little mini games, and I think there are different levels to them. I don't know if they increase in difficulty or whatnot, but yeah, so far I'll just say it's a lot of fun. It's really cool, and I wish I could play it with a friend.
So it's 2-player.
Yeah, it's a 2-player game, and I bet that would be really cool. I imagine it would be. I haven't played it like that yet, but yeah. So that's my recent pickup. So on that note, we've discussed Beetlejuice to death. Would you recommend it?
Oh, of course.
You would recommend Beetlejuice, the game?
Yeah.
You'd like, on what level? Like, hey, it's a curiosity, or yeah, it's the greatest game ever.
No, not that it's the greatest game ever. It's terrible, but it's great.
Terrible but great. Those are the words of Cody. I would kind of recommend it. I would say if you're a fan of the movie... Well, no, let me phrase this differently. If you're a fan of the movie and you're very precious, then nah, don't even bother. If you're a fan of the movie and kind of like weird, somewhat bad NES games, then yeah, give it a chance. It's a lot of fun to just pick up and mess around with for a little while.
Until next time, I'm Kyle.
That's my awful radio voice.
Until next time, I'm Kyle.
Have a good day.
Until next time, I'm Kyle. Have a good day.
It sounds like I'm on the toilet, taking a big poop, hosting a podcast from the toilet.
Until next time, have a nice day.
Oh, man. So yeah, I'm Kyle, and this is Cody, and this was SLiMeCoRE. Tune in next week when we will be talking about some other game. Alright, see you next time. Bye-bye.